born and raised, it's plain to see. This is how we roll UP. I got stories, let me tell it. Bow and arrow and a dope ass mullet. Take one shot, that's all it took, son. When I fish, it takes one hook, son. Hunt big game, just take one look, son. Now I killed it, about to cook, son.
All right, let's roll here. Welcome back to You Gotta Want It podcast. It's been a long time since the last one, but I figured it was time to jump back into it now that the 2025 deer season is upon us. And like I said, as you're listening to this podcast, bow season is here. It officially opened yesterday here in Michigan, but it's pretty crazy that it's already here. It seems like we were just chasing turkeys, and in a blink of an eye, it's October. But this year I got kind of a weird feeling about it. I don't know if it's hit me yet that it's go time or what, but maybe it's just the past couple of years of taking a beating, or maybe it's this hot weather we got going on. With that said, the weather is really looking terrible this weekend. It's showing highs in the 80s, which is extremely warm for beginning of October. I didn't hunt opening day this year. It was in the 70s, so I decided just to wait for this weekend if I'm going to go at all. And nothing's really been consistent enough to really take the risk to hit the woods. But I'll likely be in the stand Friday night, and maybe Saturday even. But I'm really just looking for a doe, and gets to knock the dust off the Matthews. But we'll see. Maybe the cameras will pop up. Maybe something will pop up on the cameras the next couple days. But we're going to have a full camp this weekend, and hopefully fill some doe tags, like I said, and knock back doe numbers a little bit because they're pretty high again this year. But even with the high temps, I still think getting a couple does is possible. They seem to be still hitting the food plots pretty heavy, and on all the other cameras as well. The buck movement, I would figure it's going to be last light. I actually just had a really nice 10-pointer at 7:30 as I'm recording this 5 minutes ago. Hit the one of the cameras about 40 minutes after shooting light. He was on the cameras last night at 3 in the morning, and that's the first time he's been on there in probably 3 or 4 weeks. So probably 115, 120 inch 10-pointer, and really looking forward to someone getting a crack at him as well as the year goes on. But he was around about 40 minutes after shooting hours, like I said. But that just shows this hot weather. Like I said, the buck movement will probably be last light if in light at all. But it's just going to be hopefully a fun weekend to get the guys back together and relax and prepare for the better weather days ahead. Another topic I want to talk about tonight was talk about what the cameras have been showing. Throughout the summer, there was probably 6 potential shooters off and on passing through, and as we got into September, it turned out to be about 3 or 4 that were more consistent. But this past month has been really different from years past. The bucks really haven't had a pattern to them, and they'll be on camera up in the front of the property, and then a week later they'll be on the back plot camera. So there's really no pattern to them. Total opposite of last year. I would guess it's the amount of different food sources around this year. It was a great year for the crop fields and the soft and mass trees as well. The growing season was great, and I think it was just so much food including green browse still, and deer are not relying on like the one specific food plots we've had in the past. And also in September we've had a pair of wolves come through twice, which could also have affected the deer movement, especially the bucks. Could have scattered them a little bit. But I think as we get some colder weather and the other food sources start to dry up, I think the bucks will start to filter in through the property more frequently, and they'll be there definitely as we get closer to the pre-rut. As for the food plots I got done this year, they were looking great up to about a week and a half ago, and the rain just shut off. It was pretty consistent 5 to 6 days. Every 6 days we were getting rain, so the brassica is really growing good. But the last week and a half it's been pretty hot and dry, and the deer are definitely pounding the leaves on the top of those brassicas and really knocking them back quite a bit. So I'm gonna have to go there this weekend, probably Sunday, and throw some rye down and then hopefully get some rain to get that greened up. But you can see in the food plot pics that a group of doe comes in and they can really do some damage to a half-acre food plot in a couple days. But like I said, there looks to be some rain coming next week, so I'm going to be throwing down some rye in both brassica plots, and hopefully that starts popping soon. But as far as this weekend goes, not going to get fancy, and probably not going to force anything, just looking to knock down a doe and get some time on stand. I know it's supposed to be in the 80s, but right now it looks like the next cold front is going to be next Tuesday, and it's supposed to be 81 on Sunday and then drop down to 62 and then 58 even on Wednesday. So those are going to be days to hunt. Northeast wind on Wednesday with the lows in the 30s. So I'm going to be circling that and likely hit the woods on those days, preferably Wednesday. We'll see what the cameras do Monday and Tuesday, but Wednesday is going to be the day, I think, to hunt. Those are the type of cold fronts you cannot miss. Deer will be on their feet and moving early, headed to the food plots, and we'll see what the wind is doing, but I need something out of the east for the back plot, and that's been the hot spot early season, especially. That's the best looking brassica on the property right now. And Eric sat there last night and he saw 15 deer and 3 bucks, so it's the most secluded food plot, and that's where the deer feel the safest early season. So hoping that the wind comes out of the northeast or something like that, so I can sit there on Wednesday. I also put in a water hole in August, and it's been taking them a while to get used to it, I think, or there's just been enough water around. But the last 3 or 4 days, they've definitely been using that. It seems like they're using that little kill plot spot, and they're getting a drink because the other water sources are pretty dry as of right now. So hopefully that's going to be a good spot for us as we get closer to the end of October, and the bucks start using that more as they get into the pre-rut. Depending on the wind, we'll see if that could be a spot too next week, and if the cameras are blowing up there too. But some of the bucks that are around, I would say, are bucks that were on camera last year at the end of the year. We had a pretty good end of the year with about 6 or 7, baskets, or at least something with a beam on them that we could tell. We could get a kind of a ballpark guess on what they were going to be this coming year. So it's hard to say for certain, being that they're about usually 2-year-old bucks that are on camera. But it is cool though when you can go side by side with the past year and see the similarities. So we got a couple that we think are from last year, a couple 3.5s, and those are in the 100 to 110 inches, which is pretty good for the UP. But there's also that buck that showed up last night that's 10. I think he was a 9 last year. He's kind of a webbed looking nice 10-pointer. That's the biggest buck we got right now, I think, on camera. He's probably going to be touching 120 inches, I think. He's a really good-looking buck. The one buck I was looking forward to this year was the buck we called Charlie last year. He was, based on his body, it looked like a 3.5. And I saw him one time, November 1st. I am at 38 yards. I actually saw him across the food plot at about 250 yards. And I was, can just see the top of the food plot, so I grunted a couple times, and he worked his way in behind me, and then worked his way down the ridge at about 38 yards, so I didn't end up getting a shot. But he did make it through gun season. I had him on camera after Thanksgiving, I believe. And so I would guess he would make it. He was a really high white cagey rack with some short brows. I think there's a chance he's still alive, because on August 1st I got a picture of a buck that looked exactly like him in the corner of a picture, and that was the only picture we got of that buck this summer. So hopefully he comes around. Like to get a chance in him this year. But the goal up at camp is we're looking for 3.5-year-olds above the 105-inch range if possible. We all want those 150, 160-inch bucks, but you just have to be realistic up in the UP, and 105-incher is pretty decent for the UP, and I would say pretty respectable, actually. So getting a buck that size and a doe in October would be a great start to the season. So I'm really looking forward to hopefully getting a chance at one of those. Really looking forward more to November, actually, because we're heading to Missouri to chase the big boys the week before gun season. So we're going to be down there the Missouri's last week of archery, which is the best time to go to Missouri for the rut action. So it's just crazy to see the size of the bucks that that we've been getting sent to us throughout the summer. It's really hard to comprehend that those are normal to see in those states like Missouri and Iowa. That's a once in a lifetime buck. Might not even see a buck that size in the UP. So I think if you got a consistent buck this weekend, I would say take the chance. But if you got nothing consistent, there's really no point of forcing one. You got a lot of season left, and better weather ahead. So it's rather to be on the safe side this early in the season if the weather's bad than to force a hunt and maybe screw up the potential next couple weeks for yourself. So yeah, I just wanted to jump on here tonight and get a little intro to the season, and hopefully sprinkle a couple more of these in throughout October, give some updates on what I've been seeing, how the hunts have been unfolding, and if I knock anything down, I'll definitely bring that to you guys here. I'm going to be filming too while I'm in the tree. Hopefully be doing quite a bit of that, give some updates with those videos, and hopefully as I do more of these, I'll get better at them, as it's not the easiest talking into these microphones, but yeah, hopefully everyone else has a good season, and good luck this weekend, and hopefully I'll be back soon with some more episodes. Hopefully bring some better content for you guys. So thanks for listening, and good luck out there.